Playoff football has come to the west coast of Florida, and we are at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
He finds his rookie wideout from Tennessee. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here. Here's Williams. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A huge play there for Chicago. 43 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears are on the board first here in this division round matchup. So much for being intimidated on the road in the playoffs, right? That was a pretty clinical drive right there.
Yeah, they seem to come out with the attitude of, we don't deal with pressure. We create it on the other team. Just took it right down the field and stuffed it in the end zone.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. A first carry for Rachaad White. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Another tackle for loss from the interior of that D-line. He had 4 of those last week, partner.
And what you can glean just from the statistics, even if you don't watch the tape, is that he is what we call a one-gap player. Meaning that's all he has responsibility for, which means they want him to get upfield, penetrate into the backfield, and make plays. When you're a two-gap defensive tackle, you've got to cover up too much ground, and all you're trying to do is hold the point of attack. You don't get very many tackles for loss.
The O-line, they better figure a way to plug that gap. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. From the gun on 3rd down. Henley Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. That's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
A Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or two. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. Back to throw now on first down. This ball complete to Trey Palmer. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Again, he'll drop to throw. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 28. A good pickup there of 20 yards. First down, here's White. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rashad White, 28 yards. And the Buccaneers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Throw right side taken in by Adunze. 4 catches for him in the wild card win a week ago, and he's got his first here, and it's a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. On first down, it's Pearson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Throwing is Williams. And that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Working out of the gun, Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 17-yard line. Last week in the wild card win, he had 7 catches. That's his first one here. To throw, it's Williams. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Roma from 17 yards out. And the Bears have taken the lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Looking to throw. Henley. Throw left side, taken in by Palmer. Completion good for 14 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Well, he's a diminutive receiver, Charles. Not a ton of size, but still able to bring that in against double coverage.
I think that's a great job by him of understanding angles, because you mentioned his size. He's not going to go over the top of someone or body someone out of the way. He's got to make sure he creates enough space for himself by getting people into the wrong spot on defense, moving them with his body, and then showing his numbers to the quarterback to be open.
8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Go. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket, no. Here comes the flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Back to throw. Henley. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20.
And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you've got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's second and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. Pearson, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 44-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Pearson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
From the gun, here's Williams. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Buccaneers are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out. Where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
He'll get that out to the flat to right.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 39. Looking to throw. Henley. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it'll be intercepted.
Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
To the 43, second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
To throw, Williams.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
To the air, Williams.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
He'll look middle here and get it to Odunze.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
That's to the tight end, Laporta.
Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line.
To the air once more, Williams.
Flushed out right. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bears will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
Over the middle, complete. That's Tucker.
This 2nd and 4.
Back to throw. Henley.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with a short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Seven Pirates. Cut 19. Hut.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
He'll leave this one for White.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Another catch by White. Back-to-back plays.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Slot man moves right. A final shot before break. Henley. He's got it at the 15. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Buccaneers 7.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
2nd and 9 now. Throw left side complete. That's Palmer. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
18 Rattler. Dragon 60.
Looking to throw. Henley.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception. They'll roll him out right. A pass complete to Odunze. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The 22 more yards there and another first down.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties, and then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Looking to throw is Williams. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Williams. And he's got it. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Daniel Bellinger from 13 yards out. And the Bears continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, wow, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go, and that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
And it seems like they've been running uphill all game. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
Let's go now.
Back to throw. Henley. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Throwing to start the drive. Williams. That is caught by Laporta. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
18, pioneer. Go.
Looking to throw. Williams. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Bucs are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Here we go. Cowboy 80. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler.
Running out of the gun with White. And they work this out past the 25.
60 Eagles. 60 Eagles.
Tampa Bay.
Dragon 60.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
60 Mavericks. 60 Bison. Mustang 19. Hunt.
Back to throw now on first down. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down, eluding the pressure right. This is caught by Tucker. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Ready.
Back to throw. Henley. And a dump off to White. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that will bring up second down.
It's second and 8 at the 42.
Back to throw again. Looking for White on the deep ball. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Hey. Warriors 70. Half of the left. Check go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he's going to be out of bounds up past the 5. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down.
Set. Go.
Throwing is Williams. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over.
Trap 60. Trap 60. Go. 19 tight. 19 tight. 18 Pioneer. And up.
Throwing to start the drive. Henley escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Ready.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Panther 60, Panther 60, 79 Broncos.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Bears are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So another interception for him on the year. He is making quite a splash in his rookie campaign.
And most linebackers feel they're lucky if they get 1 or 2 of these a year, because once you start getting to 3, 4, and 5, that's when you know you've got a special player and someone the quarterbacks have to account for.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. From the 43, here's a 2nd down and 9. Another run for Gibbs here. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11.
Gibbs straight ahead.
The 20, 10, 5, and did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line.
67 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
And Mr. Reliable shows those legs again here in the playoffs.
And what do coaches tell us all the time? In the playoffs, the team that runs the football well will win the game and ultimately be a champion. They're trying to prove that fact today.
Setting the tone on the ground. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Bears are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in a mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Going right side is White. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll go up the middle with White. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And now they'll shift things around. They're going to get this outside. Oh, this could be a double pass.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Buccaneers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Mustang 19. 60 Eagle, 60 Eagle. 19 Lion.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Flush to his right.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
Let's go. Cut 19. Cut 19.
Looking to throw. Henley to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Warriors 70.
Palmer going in motion right.
Ready.
They'll look to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Third and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Come on. Set. Trap 60, trap 60. Ready.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. From 4 yards out.
And the Buccaneers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football.
And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A big play there. 48 yards.
And the Bears up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, fourth quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. It certainly has not been the outing that they envisioned on their home turf in the divisional round of the playoffs, and they have been pushed around, and now their backs against the wall.
It's caught. This is White. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Henley. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Bucs get a bit closer.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Down to about the 37.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
To throw, it's Williams. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta.
And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. 18 Raptor, 18 Raptor. Dragon 60.
They'll go. Here's Williams. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player on the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here we go, set. Warrior 70. Take go.
Back to throw. Henley.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Panther 11, Panther 11. Here we go, here we go. Trap 60, trap 60. Go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Looking to throw. Henley.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
18, Pioneer. Buffalo 18.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
And this pass broken up. Now the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
70 range, 70 range.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs.
Okay, ready? Have the 60, have the 60. Ready?
On first and 10, here's Gibbs.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half, you've got the lead, you're looking at moving on to the conference championship, and he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Let's go now.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we bid you good night from Tampa.